San Jose Aralana.
Hello grade 10 learners! How are you today? I am Teacher Ray and welcome to our SGSLTI English Telearalan. Finally, we are now in the final phase of your junior high school. Congratulations, you've reached this far. I cannot contain the excitement for you. Just continue working and everything will pay off. So let's get started. At this point in time, you'll still make a lot of breakthroughs that will help you improve your critical thinking skills and inquisitiveness through research. Our learning objectives for today are: you're expected to A. Define what is research. B. Determine the 3 types of approaches used in research. C. Formulate a research title on a social issue that you will write about. D. Appreciate the importance of being familiar with the technical terms used in research. Keep in mind that a simple research report has its parts and you have to be familiar with these words. Each video will tackle specific parts leading you to writing your own research report. But before all else, let us test your prior knowledge regarding research. Read and understand each item carefully and choose the letter of your answer. Let's start. Number 1. It is the process of systematic inquiry that entails collection of data, documentation of critical information, and analysis and interpretation of data or information in accordance with suitable methodologies set by specific professional fields and academic disciplines. A. Introduction. B. Interviewing. C. Interview guide. Or D. Research. The answer is D. Research. Number 2. It can be used to gather in-depth insights into a problem or generate new ideas for research. Letter A. Qualitative research method. B. Discussion. C. Appendix. Or D. Reference. If you answered A. Qualitative research method, you are correct. Let's go to number 3. It is the process of collecting and analyzing numerical data. It answers a specific research question by showing statistical evidence that the data may be addressed in a particular way. A. References. B. Quantitative research method. C. Literature review. Or D. Appendix. The answer is B. Quantitative research method. 2 more to go. Number 4. This method combines the elements of quantitative research and qualitative research in order to answer a research question. A. Questionnaire. B. Literature review. C. Mixed method. Or D. Conclusion. The answer is C. Mixed method. Finally, last number. This is the subject or topic that researcher finds interesting when conducting research. This needs to be narrowed down, which will focus on the main idea. A. Research title. B. Abstract. C. Literature review. Or D. Reference. If your answer is A. Research title, very good. You are right. Great job if you got all the answers correct. You are now ready to dive in with our lesson for today. Well, let's begin. What is research? Research is a process of systematic inquiry that entails collection of data, documentation of critical information, and analysis and interpretation of that data or information in accordance with suitable methodologies set by specific professional fields and academic disciplines. Here are some examples of research topics. 1. How does the blended learning approach affects students' performance? Blended learning has been getting more and more popular recently. It is a modern learning approach that combines traditional classes with online materials. It requires strong management skills from students but gives more opportunities in the age of technologies. Next, number 2 example. The trends in computer literacy. Nowadays, no one is surprised by a toddler using a tablet or a smartphone without any trouble. Technologies are also incorporated into the learning process. You may write on it with an argumentative approach or see what trends there are and compare them. In research, we have the main types of approaches of what we call the research methods. These are the processes used to collect data. There are two main categories of research methods: qualitative research methods and the quantitative research methods. But in using both, it is identified as the mixed method. Qualitative research involves collecting and analyzing non-numerical data, example, text, video, or audio, to understand concepts, opinions, or experiences. It can be used to gather in-depth insights into a problem or generate new ideas for research. So usually, qualitative researches are a reliable source of information. Qualitative research is commonly used in the humanities and social sciences in subjects such as anthropology, sociology, education, health sciences, history, and the like. What are some examples of qualitative research titles? We have Promoting Healthcare During COVID-19, Strategies for Expanding the Health Sector. Or we can also have Helping the Young Manage Their Obesity, the most effective obesity management strategies. Are you wondering why this is under qualitative research? It is because the researcher cannot actually use numerical data to collect the specific piece of information. In these cases, it is efficient to use observation, interviews, FGDs, or what we call focus group discussion, surveys, which consist of questionnaires with open-ended questions, and secondary researches. Meanwhile, quantitative research is the process of collecting and analyzing numerical data. It can be used to find patterns and averages, make predictions, test causal relationships, and generalize results to wider populations. Quantitative research is widely used in the natural and social sciences, biology, chemistry, psychology, economics, sociology, marketing, and the like. What are examples of quantitative research titles? 1. Customer satisfaction toward online shopping among students of San Jose School of La Trinidad Incorporated. 2. Perceived effectiveness of mother tongue as a medium of instruction. So in these two given examples, the researcher can only use survey questionnaires to collect and analyze its data. For our mixed methods research, this combines the elements of quantitative research and qualitative research in order to answer a research question. Mixed method can help you gain a more complete picture than a standalone quantitative or qualitative study, as it integrates benefits of both methods. Mixed methods research is often used in the behavioral, health, and social sciences, especially in multidisciplinary settings and complex situational or societal research. Now that we are done with the approaches of conducting research, let us go through with the considerations or criteria for a good research title. Number 1, the title should not be long. It should not be more than 15 words. Number 2, it should include the variables, independent and dependent. What are these independent and dependent variables? Variables are any characteristics that can take on different values such as height, age, species, or exam score. A dependent variable is the variable that depends on the other factors that are measured. These variables are expected to change as a result of an experimental manipulation of the independent variable or variables. The dependent variable is always the property you are trying to explain. It is always the object of the research. It is the presumed effect, while an independent variable is stable and unaffected by the other variables you are trying to measure. The independent variable usually occurs earlier in time than the dependent variable. It is often seen influencing directly or indirectly the dependent variable. It is the presumed cause. Check out this given research title. This is the independent, and this is the dependent variable. Number 3 consideration. The research title should give insight virtually on what the research is all about. Number 4, it should serve a reference for the whole research report which others can use. Number 5, it should enable one to claim the paper as his or her own. Of course, we should always avoid plagiarism, so we could consider our research as our own. Plagiarism occurs when ideas, information, and even pictures are used without proper acknowledgement of the original sources. Providing in-text citation or parenthetical text from another source is a surefire method to avoid plagiarism. These are the ways to do in-text citation or parenthetical text to acknowledge our sources. First, running text. According to Madrigal, use of in-text citation shows that the idea is not yours and that you acknowledge its rightful source. Next, within parentheses. The use of in-text citation shows that the idea is not yours and that you acknowledge its original source. Madrigal, 2001. Number 6 consideration. The following words should not be a part of the title: a study of, an analysis of, or an investigation of, since all the researches are studies, an analysis of variables, and investigations. Number 7. It is not important to include the date and location of the investigation, as this can be discussed in the scope and delimitation of the study, or in the population and locale of the study in Chapter 2. These are just some major considerations in writing a research title. As a grade 10 student of San Jose High School, you are specifically tasked to do a quantitative research report or proposal. So for your post-assessment, formulate a research title on a social issue that you will write about. Now there you have it! I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from this video. Join us again in our next episode to continue to discuss the parts of our research. Remember this saying from Hurston, that research is formalized curiosity. It is poking and prying with a purpose. Once again, I'm Teacher Ray, and until next time.